Welcome back to the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast, special Gone Nuts series. It's time for a monthly update from one of our intrepid Gone Nuts athletes. How has their training gone? What are they thinking about with the event just around the corner? And what are they learning about themselves? All these questions and more will be answered in the next 15 minutes. Welcome to this bonus Gone Nuts episode. In this episode, we talk to Anna Speirs. It's an episode that I recorded back in February and then promptly lost. So thankfully I found it now just in time to put it up before I put up her wrap-up episode. Luckily for you, you'll be able to listen to Anna's thoughts before the event and then listen to how the event went for her in the next episode. So enjoy. Today on Fit Mind, Fit Body, we are checking in with another Gone Nuts athlete. And I think this might even be our third check-in. Anna Speirs, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me back again.
I'm excited. It's like when I send out the odd reminder, oh, you haven't booked in your next one. It's like, I wonder if people have problems and have decided to pull out or something. Not of the conversation, but of the run because they've had an injury or something.
Well, I always have problems, but I'll never pull out on chatting to you, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Because then I'm getting prepared. I haven't actually had to do it, touch wood, but prepared to do the message back. But we still want to talk to you because even that's a part of the story. Come on. Anyway, luckily that wasn't the case. And here you are. So we're very close, I believe, 3 weeks.
3 weeks and 2 days or something, yeah.
How are you going? Tell me all about it. How's the last 4 weeks been?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good month, I have to say. Yeah, I'm quite surprised.
I love that. This is the most chipper I've seen you, Anna. What's going on? What did you do different?
Well, yeah, it's to do with a few things. I guess, everything outside of running has always and is going really well. Work's great, family's great, life in Broome is, fun and got great friends and all of that. I think the other part was nothing could have been as bad as what I was catastrophizing in my head about what the month was going to be like when we spoke last. You expect the worst and it's never that bad. So that's played a huge part. The weather has been, and I always talk about the weather, I'm so sick of me talking about it, but that has been a lot kinder than expected as well. Awesome. So we've had some, stinking hot days, but a really nice breeze in the afternoon, which means that things have been a lot more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably the less good thing is that I'm just a bit over it. So I've probably been a little less committed to the training than I was beforehand, which inherently is meaning that life is going to be easier because I don't enjoy a lot of the training. So by taking more sessions out, I'm enjoying life more as well. But I'm not worried about it. It's fine.
And you're not putting it, probably the important bit is that you're not putting pressure on yourself. Like you said, you're not as, when we're really regimented about stuff, it creates that friction, doesn't it? And especially if you're not doing and you're regimented, it's like, ouch.
Yeah, I've been, I guess, doing a bit of reflecting as well over the past sort of, 6 months and over the last month about why I'm enjoying things a little bit more. And I think I sort of come to the realization that come the 2nd of March.
Correct.
That's right. Yeah. I will be content in the fact that I've done what I could when I could. Exactly. So at times I haven't done the training or if I've done the training, I've done it less than what was intended. And I'm totally fine with that because I gave what I could at the time. And running's not my strong passion, and the fact that I've been able to keep this up for so long, I'm pretty proud in that fact.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little bit mad, who knows? But yeah, my goal was to always finish this without any major injury, and I really think I've got myself to the point where that's very, very possible. So I'm content that I've done what I could when I could.
And isn't that an awesome story for a physio to have?
Yeah. And then, unless you can dedicate 100% of your life for training for an event, I think everyone's going to toe that line feeling a little bit underdone. And that's fine. Just keep going and eventually I'll hit that finish line, right?
That's the
hopefully within
plan.
30 hours.
That's right. 30 hours is a
Yeah.
long time, plenty of time. We'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Like barring major injury, I think I will get to the end of that. But I think I've trained to a point now where I will be probably a bit annoyed if I just finish it and not, run a lot of it and put a bit more effort into it. So now I've got a little bit of that sort of pressure lingering at the back of my brain, which wasn't there before. But my original goal was to finish it. So again, I'm just going to revert back to that and be stoked if that happens. Or when that happens, let's be positive.
Yes, when that happens. It's interesting those tricks our brain will play on us, though, and it's really refreshing to hear you being able to be an observer of your thoughts. Because a lot of people, we just allow our thoughts to drag us around. So it's really
they were
nice.
Definitely all consuming in previous episodes. I think my dark thoughts were very present and overwhelming and taking over everything. But now I've kind of just given up on them a little bit, which has been a bit quite freeing.
Because that's what mindfulness teaches us. Like that's the other half of my bow from the running to the mindfulness, is that all those thoughts are still going to be there, but we don't have to pay a lot of attention to them. And as you said, and that's where you've worked your way through. It's accepting, they're there, but whatever. I don't have to give them all the power or the energy or the emotion.
Yeah. And I think I've just understood a little bit more about my experience with running as well. Again, sort of reflecting on the last few months. And I've started to realize that I don't think it's running that I particularly dislike. It's maybe the organized running I don't like, because movement and exercise for me has always been something I value highly, and I've always done it and I love it. But I've done what I've wanted to do when I've wanted to do it, and for however long I've wanted to do it. I've never had to train for something. So now I'm, if I woke up in the morning and running felt good to me, like maybe I would have randomly gone for a run, but most of the time it was, hey, I feel like a surf, or I'm going to walk the dog, or I'm going to go for a hike, or play a game of squash, or do whatever. But now I wake up and regardless of what I'm feeling, I kind of have to do this run for a time that I don't want to do it for, and at a time I don't want to do it, i.e. 4:00 in the morning. So it just goes against what I believe exercise and movement should be.
So
it
that
should be
freedom stuff.
Yeah, do what you want when you want to do it. And like, obviously no one is forcing me to do this run. I have put this on myself, and like it's and I'm again glad that I've done it and tried this experience, but organized training is not what resonates with me. Movement and exercise, absolutely, but do what you want when you want for however long you want to do it.
So how do you justify? I agree with you, because I the reason that I'm not practicing as a teacher is because I only put up with it for a year, being put into a classroom and being told I had to be there from 8:00 to 4:00 every day, because it's like, so I much prefer to work for myself where I can create the hours, and I understand that resistance also with many sort of training and goals you want to do. But then there's a part of me that wonders, and this is interesting because of your professional perspective, if everybody had that we have, you and I, they wouldn't exercise very much. So sometimes people need that motivation or that goal, and maybe it's an individual thing, and maybe it changes for even us during our seasons, like our life, where things change.
I understand.
We don't stay the same motivation.
Maybe that internal versus external motivators. So I think in exercise, I'm very internally motivated, and if someone tells me what to do, I'm probably not going to do it. But
oppositionally defiant, I think they call that.
It's a diagnosable condition, isn't it? Whoopsies.
I think I got that.
Maybe I just don't like being told what to do. No, but in other things in life, I'm very much externally motivated. I want to say in work, I want to do well and
achieve
achieve this and whatnot. But I think with exercise, it comes from a spot in me, it's just about enjoying what I'm doing, and other people might not have that, so they do need that external motivation of a training program or someone telling them what to do, or a regime, and that works really well for them, which is great. But that's just not me when it comes to movement and exercise.
I assume in your professional life you would come across that all the time, and you would have to have different strategies for different people that come through the door.
Because
otherwise they're not
going
to get the results that they need, are they?
There's great clients that will do their home program diligently, and I don't have to motivate them at all. Or there's some people that won't. So, maybe I have to see them more often. So I'm in front of them as they do their exercise and we can tick it off together, and that works for them. So yeah, it's about adjusting for the individual. And me and endurance training are just not PB&J. We're just not friends.
At least not now. It will be interesting to see what you say. I mean, we'll talk after the event as well, but it will be interesting to see what you say, even in a year's time, because it changes. We change, and I'm sure you see that as well. And it might be the experience sticks with you in 10 years' time. You go, oh, actually, I did that.
I am really excited about what this new fitness has opened up, and being able to go for a, half day, full day run, hike, swim, run, adventure with friends, which I probably have never incorporated running in that activity before. So I'm excited about that. But again, I'm choosing that activity when I want to do it, where I do it, and for how long. It's not, I won't so much be training for it and having to get up at this time. I haven't found that love for a training program for ultra running. But I do think, and I am surprised in saying this, I do think I will continue running in more of a capacity than what I was doing before.
That's interesting and awesome. Yeah.
So I found that, which is very cool. I think when you first spoke to me, I was going to say, I'm one and done with this running.
I'm just ticking a box.
I don't.
Just bucket listing.
I don't think I will. I'll be surprised again if I train for something, but I wouldn't be surprised if suddenly I went off and did a 50K run, and have maintained some fitness, because again, I don't want to just get injured and boom and bust it. But I don't think I'll be training for an event again.
I don't know if I said that to you, but my husband has already been saying, so what are you doing after this? I can't even think past the next 3 weeks right now. What are you talking about? Apart from I have planned some fun things, like I've got
very cool.
2-day hike, and, I've got things I'm looking forward to that I know I won't find too challenging. And some other sort of holiday stuff. So have you planned anything beyond the 2nd of March? You're coming here for a holiday anyway. Is that the beginning of your holiday? Can't remember. I think so.
The run?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I'm wiping off sort of 2 days of just pure sloth recovery. And then Sam and I are picking up a motorhome, and we're going, we're not very good at making plans. So we don't know what we're doing yet, but eventually we'll end up in Hobart on the 16th of March to fly out. And what we do in between then, we'll just, we'll find a spot, stay there for a while.
By about the 14th, you'll be moving freely.
Yeah, I hope so.
It might take all of that time right up into the 14th, and then you'll have 2 days.
Well, the first few days after are just, I'm going to eat and drink, and we've got some family coming over for the first part as well, so we'll just hang out, and then let's just keep moving. I pulled up pretty fine after the 50, so I'm hoping if I'm a little bit like half as worse again, because we're adding on the distance, I will be functional by the 4th or the 5th, but who knows?
You'll be fine.
I've got no clue what I'm doing.
But at least you've got something to look forward to, and that's really, I love that, like having that thing on the other side to look forward to as the next. That's not necessarily another big running adventure, but instead it's like it's something fun. Well, running's fun, everyone. I think running's fun. It's okay for Anna not to think running's fun. Fun.
I think it's I'm not sure how to finish that sentence yet. Well,
running is what I do until the 2nd of March. That's running is an activity. That's right, it is. Is there anything in your, like, have you started tapering yet, or is your taper another week?
No, I've got another big week this week, and then a little bit like a mini taper, and then the week before is a pretty nice taper. So this is the last week of bigger Ks, but I'm looking forward to it because I'm down in Albany.
So it'd be a bit cooler, and the terrain
30
will be
hours
a bit
drive from Perth. So I'm in Perth at the moment. It's 40 degrees, which I'm like, come on. My luck is ridiculous. Anyway, Albany won't be that hot. It'll be 30 degrees tomorrow, which is dreamy.
Right.
So well, it's the humidities. The dry heat I can handle. It's the humidity that destroys me. So we won't have that in Albany. I'll be able to try some hills because I still haven't done any of those. So I'm hoping there's a lot more of a crossover between hills and heat than
Yeah,
think.
that endurance, like having what it does to your body, the endurance
Yeah,
with the
that's
heat.
what I'm just, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll walk the hills. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to walk the hills too. Somebody did say to me the other day, and I don't know if they were joking, that there was one hill where you almost crawl.
Oh,
Those two,
I'm
but
sure there's going to be some flat sections that I crawl as well,
they
right?
could be joking. But yes, there could be some flat. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And I did say to myself, well, we start at sea level, sort of, and we finish at sea level. So whatever we go up, we've got to come down. So there you go. Hopefully
Yeah.
that I don't know how much flat there is. Bit of flat in the start, actually. Anyway.
Is it? I thought we go up that nut thing to
Oh yeah,
start
we
with.
do that. But then once you come down the nut, which is
Yeah.
really steep, that is actually maybe that's what they're talking about. I've done that before, so I'm aware. That's not completely foreign, but it's not gravel and it's a footpath till you get to the top, and then it's grassy stuff, and you've got to try and avoid the birds. There's shearwaters up
Oh,
there. Yeah.
okay.
So
Well, as long
mutton
as I'm not
birds,
chased by a swan or something, I think I'll be fine.
no,
Or
shearwaters are like little ones, and they're trying to fly off about the same time we get up there. So I think that's probably the most interesting thing that'll happen up there.
all right, I'll
I
add
don't,
dodging seabirds to the
not,
list of
not to stand on the birds because
things to expect. Yeah.
they,
Oh gosh.
they get a bit blinded with the head torch. Somebody was telling me, like, oh gosh, I hadn't even thought of
Is
that.
it dark? Is it dark at 6 o'clock in the morning at the moment?
It's not at the moment, but I guess in another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the past, they've had to have head torches. Whether we all have to
Okay.
have head torches at that point,
Yeah.
definitely have to at some point towards the
Mhm.
end of the run. I will anyway, because it'll be quite dark when I cross the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ditto. Yeah. I'm
But
just annoyed that that pretty part of the run
yeah,
is going to be pitch dark. I
yeah,
just,
that's
yeah.
true.
Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, it'll be fun either way. So you actually are looking forward to the long run you were just saying then, because it's down in Albany and the
Yeah.
weather is
Yeah.
so you're thinking that'll be
I think it'll be nice, like an adventure and not like I do feel the last month I have like I might have missed a tempo session or not done a tempo session as planned, but I've still kept up with all my long runs. So I've just done a solid block of 4 or 5 weeks of long runs. So I'm feeling a bit fitter, which is really nice, which I don't think I was getting that sort of fit sensation feeling prior to Christmas. So doing this long run where it's going to be cooler and a different terrain and scenery, that's exciting, and seeing how it feels. It might be a little bit closer to what we could experience in Tassie, and if it's good, then that's exciting, and if it's bad, well,
that's still exciting.
Yeah.
You will overcome. I have no doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we won't speak again until after the event, I don't think, because we're like, unless you want to jump on. I've got one person jumping on the week before, but quite happy to talk to you after at some point, probably when you finish your holiday, because then we'll get the full whatever of
rundown.
that. Yeah. It's like,
yeah, let me process it for a week. Otherwise, it could be a bit raw and interesting. Although it could make for good listening, who knows?
Yeah, so that initial the first day or so, it's like, oh, I'm never doing that again. And then within a week, it's like, oh, actually, it's all a bit dull now, but I still remember the sensation of crossing the line and how good that was.
Yeah, I'm intrigued about whether it's going to just be pure relief, as in I'm done and I've ticked that box, or if there will be some excitement and, feeling proud or whatever.
I reckon
I feel like it's just going to be a huge thank God. But we'll see. We'll see.
It's a relief. I know they're talking about organized events just briefly. In the past, because I get quite anxious, even though I've raced a lot. And I don't even think of this event as a race. It's not in my brain. It's just an event, and we're just just going out for a run. So much so that I decided a few years ago not to do any more events and just to do challenges for like personal ones. So, I mean, in the future, it's something, of course, which is what you were just expressing before. And I did do a 60K at one point where I just did it by myself, and my husband came out and supported me in that. And I've even gone there's a trail that starts at the bottom of Tassie and ends at the top called the Tassie Trail or something like that, which goes through all sorts of interesting places. And I've looked at doing that at some point as a run, but it's like 200 and whatever, 300. I don't know. It's a really long way. It might be 400. I don't know. Anyway, it's a long way from the bottom to the top. but you could choose bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But
do it in
again,
chunks.
again, it's like a personal challenge. I need to tell you that because it's like, there are other ways that you can still explore endurance, whether it's with running or cycling or swimming or whatever. But this is all stuff that but I find some of that just as exciting sometimes.
I think that's more likely something that I'd get into versus a organised event.
Yeah. Instead, it's something you can organise and set yourself. You'll still get just as nervous and anxious.
Well, I have the control. Yeah. Maybe it all comes down to me not liking being told what to do and being a control freak. Well, yeah.
Tick. I understand that. Totally. All right. Well, best of luck for the next 3 weeks. I'll see you at the start line in the semi-dark, semi-light, whatever that is.
Yeah.
We're there. We'll try and get a picture with everyone. And but best of luck. And I'm looking forward to talking to you on the other side as well.
All the best for you as well.
Thank you. I'm sure it's going to be just fine.
Absolutely.
And just like that, we're another step closer to the start line. Big thanks to our runners for sharing their progress and to you for cheering them on. Remember, it's the journey, not just the destination, that shapes us. Keep supporting our crew as they push towards that start line. And if you're enjoying this series, we would love to hear from you. Why not leave us a review and share the podcast with friends? Let's all go a little nuts together.